They say do one good deed and the world will notice. But for Mark Turner, a humble mechanic, his one act of kindness didn't just get him noticed. It changed his life forever. If stories like this warm your heart, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment so we can bring you more inspiring stories every week. Now let's get into today's story. Mark Turner was a 38-year-old mechanic with grease-stained hands and a heart far cleaner than his workshop floor. He worked long hours at Benson Auto Repairs, a run-down garage on the edge of town. His boss, Mr. Benson, was a sharp-tongued man who only cared about profits, not people. One afternoon, an elderly woman named Mrs. Howard came limping into the garage, pushing a broken wheelchair. Her eyes were filled with worry. Her husband was in that chair, waiting for her at home. Mark didn't think twice. He pushed aside a half-repaired car and said, "Ma'am, I'll fix this right away. Don't you worry." An hour later, the wheelchair was good as new, but just as Mrs. Howard thanked him, Mr. Benson stormed in. "What are you doing wasting time on junk that doesn't pay?" he shouted. Mark tried to explain. "She needed help, sir. It was the right thing to do." But Benson wasn't listening. He pointed to the door and snapped, "You're fired. Get out of my shop." Mark walked home in silence, clutching his old toolbox. He didn't regret helping the old lady, but he couldn't help feeling lost. The next day, Mark woke up to the sound of engines rumbling outside. He looked out the window. 7 black SUVs were parked in front of his small house. Men in suits stepped out, surrounding his yard. Before he could panic, the back door of one SUV opened, and Mrs. Howard stepped out smiling. Except this time, she wasn't dressed like a struggling old woman. She wore a fine coat, a pearl necklace, and behind her stood a tall man in uniform, her son, General Howard, a decorated Army officer. "Mark," she said gently, "you didn't know who I was. You just helped me out of kindness." She handed him a folded paper. It was a job offer. To lead a brand-new vehicle repair division for the military base. Mark stood speechless. General Howard shook his hand firmly and said, "Good mechanics are easy to find. Good men are not." As the SUVs rolled away, Mark looked at the sky, tears glinting in his eyes. Sometimes life tests your heart before it blesses your hands. And for Mark Turner, one act of kindness brought him a future brighter than he ever imagined.